Hello everyone. It's the end of December and I thought it would be nice to reflect on my favorite photos that I shot in 2023. I started to get into landscape photography in 2017, and in the last couple of years I finally moved towards full frame photography and developing my editing skills. My personal goal is to create images that invoke emotions of wonder and awe for the great outdoors, and these are the top 10 from this year that I feel did just that. This first image was a sunset over El Paso and Ciudad Juarez in January. I summited Sugarloaf Mountain with good friends, and we raced against the sun. I barely had enough time to set up and grab this shot, but I'm glad I did. I love the colors in the sky, and how the ocean of lights between two cities and two countries blend into one. There is a long and deep connection between El Paso and Juarez, and this photo really captures that essence. This is the raw image, which is why the colors are a little flat. Raw files are about capturing data, but it's up to us as photographers to bring them to life in the edit. For this image, I focused on bringing out the colors in the sky and brightening up the foreground, and I'm quite happy with the results. This one was a lot of fun, and was also taken in January. I had gone to the City of Rocks, a state park in New Mexico, to look for a green comet that had last passed Earth during the time of the Neanderthals. It wasn't going to come back for another 50,000 years, and I had some time, so I hatched a hasty last-minute plan and headed out there. It was a cold night and sub-freezing temperatures, but it was worth it to play with my new LED panel and the park's unique landscape. In the raw file, we can see a lack of detail in the night sky and the rocks, so I brought these out in the edit to really give the shot an otherworldly feel, almost as if I was camping in a Martian landscape. I was also humbled and appreciative when this image won first place in the I Love West Texas and Southern New Mexico category. It was a local contest by my photography club, the Photography Enthusiasts of El Paso. See the link in the description below to see all of the show's entries and winners. There's something about this shot that really relaxes me. It's not a unique perspective at all. Everyone that hikes in the desert takes a top-down photo of an agave at some point. Agaves are like a desert kaleidoscope with wonderful aesthetics and broad appeal, but this one really speaks to me. I didn't do much in the edit beyond a slight increase in contrast, bringing out the color, and showing some detailed patterns in the leaves. That was all it needed, and combined with the soft focus and muted color palette, this photo really puts me into a zen state of mind. Ooh, I love this shot. It just makes me feel small. Look at that windmill in the lower left for scale. I snagged this one in southern Colorado while pulled over on the interstate during a July drive to Camp Alexander with my scout troop. Scattered summer storms were moving across the plains, offering this cool contrast between storm clouds and penetrating sunlight. In the raw file, we see that I overexposed the scene, but I was able to recover details and colors in the edit. I feel a sense of never-ending space and openness in this picture. Never-ending views are one of the things I like most about the Southwest. Going to the opposite end of the spectrum, here's a close-up shot from November in Davis Mountain State Park. I regretted not having my macro lens on me, but I got by with my telephoto and cropped in to get that close-up feel. When I saw these drops perfectly aligned on the leaf, I knew I had to take the picture. But the question was how to edit in order to draw the viewer's eyes to the droplets. I went with desaturating the colors from the background and vignetting around the water droplets, which made the scene a proper dramatic visual of a set of spheres lined up like rockets. The laws of nature and physics make masterful art. Here's another image from the Davis Mountains. It's a handheld panorama consisting of 11 shots and was taken during the same trip as the last photo. I was with other Texas-based backpacking YouTube channels, and we were looking down on this magnificent sight from the Olympia Creek Vista Trail. After days of wet, overcast conditions, this misty sunrise was truly something special that turned mountains into islands. I really didn't have to do much with this raw file, beyond warming the tones to better capture the golden effects of sunrise and add color to the foreground. The rest of the image provided plenty of drama on its own. Here's yet another image from the Davis Mountains, also taken from the Olympia Creek Vista Trail. This is a candidate for my favorite photo of the year, with golden leading lines from cottonwoods following the creek, to a fast-moving fog spilling over distant mountaintops in the background. This is a prime example of F8 and Be There, an expression that emphasizes the importance of being ready in the moment instead of stressing about specific camera settings. I did a little more editing to develop the final image from this raw file, including dehazing the foreground and bringing out the warmer tones of the sunrise. I felt the background stood on its own without too much editing, and I'm quite pleased with how it all turned out. Here is the last of my Davis Mountains photos that made the list. It really was a phenomenal trip for outdoor photography. Remember how I mentioned in the previous photo that the fog was fast moving? Well, it kept on coming and swamped us in. But before doing so, I snapped this quick shot of the fog swelling like a tsunami around this butte. This photo was almost ready straight out of camera. I did a little editing to bring out details, brighten the sky, and remove a pesky branch that pulled my eyes from the star of the photo. Within minutes, that butte was covered in fog. F8 and Be There. Here, we are back in the City of Rocks. It was a November sunrise during a camp with my scout troop, and this scene really strikes a chord with me. The colors of the surrounding desert are like a Georgia O'Keeffe landscape come to life. Makes sense since her landscapes are New Mexico countryside come to art. This is also a handheld panorama, and in the edit, I applied a distortion correction to flatten the horizon, subtly enhance the colors, and removed agave stalks that distracted from the landscape. Here is the final image that made my list. It's a composite shot of star trails circling around Polaris, the North Star, over my friends while they enjoyed a campfire in the City of Rocks. It was my first attempt to create a composite like this one, and even though the blending isn't perfect, I really feel it captured the magic of the moment. The campfire is a single shot, while the star trails are actually several hundred stacked photos. These were all blended together into one final image. I did reposition the camera for the star trails just to avoid a stray headlamp from ruining the shot, but the final result is truly magic, and this is my other candidate for my favorite shot of the year. Did you enjoy this video in this format? Which image was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, hike safe.